Ndị be anyị kenekwanụ m unu. Anyị sị ka ụbọchị nke taa mara na anyị na mma. Anyị sị ka nke onye chiri ya zerekwa. Dịka o si dị ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si na-wetara nye bụ ozi gbasata maka ebe ife na-eme n'obodo nọ n'ime ya, dịka unu anụ ka o si ada, gbasata maka nnwere onwe a na-azọ n'ala Igbo, maka mkpagbu na ajọ omume a na-emesa ndị Igbo. Ebe ife ka anyị na-wetara n'iru akwụkwọ ọzọ dịka ibia gbapụ na nke ụbọchị izi gị na-esore kabarụ ketụsa ya bụ ozi. If I will tell you Nero according to one of the Biafran activists, quote, "Massive good news to the people of Biafra. Jubilate that the God of Elijah have answered our prayer. As the United States of America accused Tinubu's government of helping terrorists to attack Christians in Nigeria." Hear the news in details. Alright, the kansi agunu. Na akwa ụmụ Chineke na-ebe elugo ndị mba ụwa ntị gee ya bụ ife Biafran activist wetara anyị n'iru akwụkwọ, one of the best activists awe n'iru akwụkwọ. Ị ga-esi drọpụra ife n'ụdị nke gị. Alright, over to you.
On religious freedom accuses Tinubu's government, state governors in Nigeria of tolerating attacks on Nigerian Christians. Now, before you begin to say that the United States is accusing Tinubu and his government and the state governors, okay, for nothing, let me draw your attention to what happened on the 24th day of December 2023. I woke up the following day to see the tweet from the Prime Minister of Bulgaria, Prime Minister of Hungary, Prime Minister of Italy, and other nations of the world condemning the attack on Plateau state community that were, attacked, and they killed 135, okay, right? Yeah, 135 Christians were killed on that Christmas Eve. Now, the issue and complications behind the killing is what triggers a lot of people. For example, now, let me remind you that there was a notice of that attack. They wrote a letter, meaning the terrorists. They wrote a letter that they are coming to attack you people. The letter was circulated online. The security agencies got the intel. Now, after that, on the day of the attack started, according to them, on the 23rd day of December. The attack happened 23, 24, 25, 26, 4 consecutive days. They said they put 33 different missed calls on the military. Nobody came to their rescue. They massacred them, they burned their houses. But it's so unfortunate that on the 27th day of December, the whole governors, including the Plateau state governor, they all traveled to Lagos to meet Tinubu in his house and celebrate Christmas with him. This is so terrible. So when the international community accused Tinubu government or governors, do not just take side or come quick on them to tell them that they don't know that they should focus on their country. No, they know what is going on. And that is why we do what we do here, because we want to inform as many as possible what is going on. The governors has been hijacked. They have been bribed. There is a power that is above them that if they do anyhow, they can remove them out of office. You just see what is going on in Rivers State. So, the presidency controls everything. And Tinubu promised that he will never fight insecurity before his election. He told this Aisha Mohammed, and she came to the national television to tell the whole world that this is what Tinubu said. So, all these things is an indication of a failed state. Nigeria is a failed state. There is no doubt about that. There is nothing working in this country. It's only people who are pretending that continue to push, and it's getting back on them, okay? It's hitting them one after the other. You remember the other day, Joseph Okado was crying in the Senate that after everything he did, they call him criminal. Yesterday, they walked out because he wanted them to honor the hero of June 12. You have been hearing about June 12, June 12. Okay, let's honor the hero of June 12. Since the name sounds evil. No. They said it is controversial, and he walked out of the Senate. You see, all these things are happening because the error in amalgamating Nigeria is still hurting us. And there is no way, there is nothing we can do about that. When the foundation is destroyed, there is nothing you can do. When you have a faulty foundation, you need to bring the building down to erect another one. So that is the situation we are seeing. Now, let us go back to understand why the U.S. Commission on Religious Freedom officially accuses Tinubu government and state governors in Nigeria for turning their eyes away from all this attack that is happening. So it's not because these people said it. Remember, if you have been following me, I've been saying this time with that number, that the attacks in Nigeria is not my concern alone. But the major concern is the response, because silence is a response from the government is that let the attack continue. That is their silence, okay? Because the attack is not only happening in Nigeria. The way Burkina Faso, Mali, others are putting up still fight against, all this, ISWA, Boko Haram, banditry. Nigeria is not doing the same. Now, let's go straight to the article. It reads that the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom has accused the Nigerian government, led by President Bola Tinubu, and the state government of tolerating or failing to effectively respond to violent attacks carried out by non-state actors who justify their actions on religious grounds. Now, for you to understand this first paragraph of the article, it is important you know that most of the rural communities are Hausa communities in most various states that all these Fulani terrorists are attacking. They will leave all those Fulani and Hausa community. They will go and attack the indigenous community from that place, who are like Christian-dominated area. That is what this first paragraph of the article is trying to explain to you. Now it continues. In its latest report, it stated that various militant groups, including the Islamic extremists and Fulani militants, have targeted religious communities across Nigeria with devastating consequences. In its annual report, released in March 2025, USCIRF also urged the United States Department under the Trump administration to designate Nigeria, along with Afghanistan, India, and Vietnam, as additional CPCS, as reported by Sahara reporters on Tuesday. Okay? The report also recommended that 12 countries be designated as CPCS, including Burma, China, Cuba, Eritrea, Iran, Nicaragua, North Korea, Pakistan, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan. Now, the US stand about all these things is that they are saying that the United States is a Christian country, for example, and their constitution is based on Christian values. But their constitution gives everybody in the US right to worship any kind of God you want to worship. That is religious freedom. So if the United States, who is a totally Christian country, can allow you build your mosque, can allow you worship with whoever you want to worship and still protect you, what happens to others? Why can't you protect others in your state? You come to US, we protect you as a Muslim. We give you free level feed. Some of them are even in the legislature, no problem. But in your country, you don't allow people to even breathe and drink water. So for people to understand where all this thing is coming from, this is the angle it is coming from. Now, the commission also called for the redesignation of Boko Haram and Islamic State in West African province, ISWA, also known as ISIS West Africa, as entities of particular concern, alongside 6 other groups, Al-Shabaab, and so many of them like that, okay? Now, the report states in 2024, the condition for religious freedom in Nigeria remain poor, okay? Now, the article continues, okay? The federal and state government continue to tolerate attacks or fail to respond to violent action by non-state actors who justify their violence on religious grounds. These actors include Boko Haram, ISWAP, and so on and so forth. Now, the article continues, but the important part of the articles is what I've extracted, and that is what I want to use to analyze, the report from the United States. And it is so annoying, so annoying. Now, let me just not take you far. Last week here, a local government chairman from Enugu State, after the Fulani attacks, raping women, killing the only son of a widow in the university, and people were protesting, the local government chairman, who was sent by the governor Peter Mba, came to the national television and told them that there is nothing like attack. It's unacceptable. And after the local government chairman made that assertion, do you know what happened? So our reporters and their crew went there. They could not behold the scene because of the fear of attack. They were hearing Fulani terrorists, both their gunshot, everything there. Arise News crew went there, they ran back. So it is a shame on the local government chairman now and Peter Mba, because you cannot lie about insecurity. That is what the United States is saying, that the governors are paying deaf ears. The government are paying deaf ears. It is none of their business. I mean, souls are dying. Souls are dying is none of your business. And when election comes, you will still gather them, give them sword, You leverage on their poverty, on the poverty you yourself put upon them. You leverage on their poverty to give them, salt, onions, and you buy their conscience and they will still come and vote for you. It is catastrophic. And we must continue to understand that this nation cannot work like this. I know that the election will come and go. Election 2027 is coming and people will still vote. And people don't still understand that you vote, you did not vote, won't change anything. Your vote can't change anything in Nigeria. We must accept the reality. Whether you vote, you did not vote, there is nothing it will change. The politicians are not ready. So it is there for the people. And as I used to say, that it is not the duty of these politicians to free you or to help you. It is not the duty of the slave masters as they are to free the slave. It is the duty of the slave to determine whether he or she will be free or not. So it is up to you, Nigerians. You have found yourself in an unacceptable situation. No doubt about that. But the question is, are you going to remain in this situation or not? That is a food.
Ibomone genti ka ife nwere ikwu gbasata maka ebe ife ndị anyị wetara n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa dịka ị na-anụ ka o si akpọtụ na-edo ife ahụ niile bụ ife Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru anya saa ọ fụrụ ife a 20 years ago mana ife niile ahụ kwuru bụ ife na-abịazi na mmezu n'oge ugbu a. So anyị ga-arapụ nnukwu nri ya ati ya gbasata maka ebe ife ndị a niile mụ na the Biafran activist wetara anyị n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa ị ga-esi ebe ife dropụra ife iche n'ụdị nke gị ngwa nke mesịa na ụmụnne m